Whole team, keep it clean. Welcome to episode 13. 13 episode of the podcast. And this is a special episode because, one, we got a special guest. But two, this is the very, very first time that we are recording. We recorded 2 episodes of the podcast in one day. And usually for the most part, I don't even get 2 episodes within a week. So getting 2 episodes in one day is something out of the blue. But I'm going to go ahead and let my special guest introduce himself. He is the second guest that we had on this show, or on this podcast. So go ahead and Raven C, let him know about yourself.
What's good, everybody? So you already know Raven C. Started off with the reactions. Everybody know I keep my reactions crazy, but I also keep it clean.
It's too, man. You a fool, man. Where can they find you at? Tell them about your YouTube channel, Twitter, all that good stuff.
My Twitter is Raven_CEE. Same thing for as the YouTube is just Raven C all together. Raven then just CEE. I should pop up. I should be number 1 you see up there with my big old head.
Now let me ask you, what made you start wanting to do YouTube videos?
Well, it started off, we had read that draft with Lamar. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, let me just, I already had a little Twitch, but you already know how Twitch is. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me see how, how my, me just reacting. Let me see how many people can relate to the excitement. So I just recorded that, and I was like, let me just upload it. And I uploaded it that night. I got back home. I say probably the next day, that thing had over 1,000 some views. Mm. And people just kept complimenting. I was like, you know what, this is pretty fun. Mm-hmm. And I was watching you do it as well. So I was like, he has a chill atmosphere. We pretty much think alike and got a lot of stuff in common. I was like, let me just, do a couple of videos and communicate with a couple of Raven fans in the comments and everything.
Right.
See where it goes from there, and that's where it just started from.
Yeah. Do you like doing it?
Oh yeah. The only down part is I can shout out to my wife because she leaves me in my little man cave for the Ravens game. But so the kids won't come in. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty fun. You have your ups and downs. It's every time the Ravens lose, that's when the views really go up. Like the hate is real.
Hey, yeah, that's true, man. Cause Lamar Jackson is probably ever since like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed and them. Lamar Jackson, he is probably the most polarizing figure that the Ravens have had on the team in like forever. Well, not forever, but since back in those days and back in their days, because they really haven't really had that superstar guy on the squad like that everybody knows. And I think when you get to a one name basis, when people can say either your first name or your last name, like there's not too many people that you could do that with. Like, and speaking of NFL, for instance, people say Brady. Everybody knows who that is. If you say Mahomes, everybody knows who that is. They know who you're talking about. And now Lamar, he's reached that status where you say Lamar, everybody knows who you're talking about. And of course, in like NBA, dudes like Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, the guys that could go by one name, and Lamar done reached that. But now, just like all those other guys, he just got to reach the championship. So it's time to go ahead and finish that. Hopefully this year. That'd be nice, as long as we get through this whole season. Now, I know you talked about with like YouTube and stuff. There's a lot of ups and downs. What are some of the downs that you've seen with YouTube?
Really just you can relate it to life. Really, you have the good people that you can tell they was raised right, and then you have some people that just shows their ugly side because they won't say it to you face to face. They won't even just speak it to really anyone. And they just, I seen one message the other day. This dude was not keeping it clean. And he had so many bombs in there, all toward me, for saying the Ravens are going to win. And then I seen one message with, the Lamar situation going on right now. Some dude was like, well, I hope he dies. I'm like, dude.
Man,
like,
said, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's a sport.
Yeah, man. People be on some other stuff, man. And that's I think that's a social media, just period. Social media in general, it is such a gift and a curse. All that is, I say it all the time, man. It's a gift and a curse all at the same time, because what social media has done, it's allowed you easy access to people, to whether it be celebrities or just favorite YouTube or somebody on Twitter, whatever. It's allowed you access to people, so it's nice that you could talk to your favorite, somebody that you follow, somebody who videos you watch, or you love their team or whatever. It gives you easy access to them, but at the same time it gives you easy access to them. So as much love as you can get that negativity as well, man. But to focus on the positive, what's some of the favorite parts that you like about doing YouTube?
Really want my reactions and some of my videos with just my thoughts. Just some people just like, for example, with the whole Steelers and the Ravens situation, game movement from Thursday, Sunday to Tuesday. Some Steelers fans came in there, a little wild, but then there was some in there like, man, we just hope and pray everybody's just stay healthy, okay, speaking of beyond football. And think about, because I noticed a lot of people are not thinking about, like, Lamar, we can go down the line of everybody that has it, but their family as well is in the risk of having it as well.
Oh, that's true.
And a lot of people didn't think about that. I'm like, it goes deeper than that.
Yeah,
because when I heard Lamar have it, I was like, the first person I thought about was Lamar's mom, because they're real close.
Yeah.
And I was like, is she around him in that, in their house or whatever they have? I'm like, it's just, but yeah, it just, the positive. It's just, that's one thing that just keeps the grind going. Just that positive, and it's like it's like what one of my old artists I listen. I'm finna show my age a little bit. What Master P said before he got big.
Shout out to No Limit. Okay.
He just said, before he got big, he had that one person that was just hyping him up in the crowd. And that's how I believe I started, and that just kept me going, where I seen one or two comments, from a couple of people that just like, hey, just keep it going.
Yeah. Then that's exactly what you gotta do, man. Just keep it going, keep pushing, keep doing your thing. And I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned from this, just patience. Staying true to who you are. No matter if there's growth or not, stay true to who you are. Because what I've seen a lot of people do, if there is growth, they end up selling out. They end up changing like who they are. Not saying that you can't improve stuff, but your actual personality, like they'll switch it up. But then I've also seen, if there's not growth, some people could still sell out, and some people will just start doing anything just to get views or anything to get likes, and that's just, you got to be authentic, man. You got to be yourself, because that could end up being one of the most tiring things, and one of the biggest mistakes somebody could do is trying to be somebody who they're not. Because if you out here trying to be somebody who you're not, and you just putting out this fake image and whatnot, you got to keep that up if that's what's working. And then you end up turning around when you cut off the camera and that's not you. That'll be a big life yikes, because you could exhaust yourself from just being fake.
They're just
So
gonna show up eventually.
yeah, yeah, man. That's why I do love it's fun. The YouTube is fun. It comes with a lot of good, comes with a lot of bad, and like you said earlier, and that's just with life in general, in any situation. But yeah, it's cool though, man. What would you say is the coolest experience that you done had on YouTube so far?
That's a good coolest. Really, I'll say other than just interacting with my with people that leave in the comments was the stream we had on my birthday. That was pretty cool because it felt like it was just like chilling with the guys, even though we never met y'all in person.
Oh, you talking about that group stream we did?
Yeah.
We had like 80 people on there. Like,
because I've seen so many like other teen YouTubers. Some of them talk just kind of chill, and some of them they just go back and forth like a debate show.
Yeah,
and it's like everybody that night was just chill, relaxed.
Yeah,
and I was like, that was a good time right there.
Yeah, that was cool. We gotta run that back again. I don't know when, because I know everybody's schedule is like crazy. I know Sunny across the world and Nubo across the country, and but we're gonna have to run that again because that was fun, man. I'll always enjoy those. But what am I about to say? Even now I done forgot. I'm over here thinking about the stream, and I'm trying to think of the next time we're gonna run one. I done forgot what I was talking about. Oh, where you from? I already know, but I gotta ask for the people that's listening.
Yeah, gotcha. Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. So how'd you end up getting turned on to the Ravens?
Well, out here, obviously they didn't show no Raven games, only when they was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the first time that I can clearly remember, I was seeing the Ravens when they was the 2000. And I was at my sister's house. She put it on Channel 4. And I seen, because I really wasn't like into football like that much because I was surrounded by the Cowgirls. So I remember seeing a play where the quarterback, the Ravens obviously was on defense. And that dude said, "Hut." And it was like the offensive line just got trampled. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, that's Ravens? Like, this the defense? And then I asked my stepbrother at the time. He's like, yeah, man, you need to look at them. They got a good defense. So I just started watching. Then I started kind of getting that vibe from Ray and Ed and my boy Chris McAllister. He does not get a lot of respect. Oh, that is my dude.
Yeah, I love Chris McAllister, man.
One of the best to me, but just that, and then I started really looking into their history, and then I believe, if I remember right, they were the first to have a black general manager.
Yeah, I believe.
And Ozzy, and I was like, that's a game changer. So then I just got hooked, and then when I really, really could start watching every game, that was around when we first drafted Flacco.
Yeah, it's around 2008.
Yeah, I was out of high school and everything. So then I had my own money where I can pay for the NFL stuff to watch them.
Yeah, one of my boys, he found back then he found a little plug for NFL Sunday Ticket. So, and that was obviously before they had the live streams and stuff that you could find. But
yeah,
man,
I used to pay. First, it was $100 a year. Then they shot up to $300. Where me and my cousin, cause my cousin a Frisco fan. Yeah. So we was doing $150 each. We was just like, man, we can't miss our game.
Oh, that's smart, man. To split it.
Then that's just started getting tweaks, being so there, and that's what we was like, okay, time to do some research.
Yeah. So that Sunday ticket still going too. I was really thinking about trying to get it, but they ain't got it in my area. It's weird, man. So
Yeah.
I say streams it is, man. I ain't got no problem with that. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you too. What made you do the reaction videos? Because that's something that I don't know if I've seen any like football YouTuber include that as well. So I think you probably the only football YouTuber that I see do that. Because I see some people watch film or whatever, and then some people they talk about the game, talk about what they saw from the game or whatever. But I never seen a football YouTuber actually put reactions to the game. So what made you want to do that?
That was really all my wife's idea on that one.
Oh, shout out to
you. Because she seen my, my draft with Lamar. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you act more crazy at the draft than you act at home. He was like, you was even louder. I was like, well, I was in a stadium, I didn't have neighbors really. So.
Oh, yeah.
But, so then, she was like, you should just, when we watching the games at home, you act like really crazy. You should just record it and just see if people, like it and is on the same level. So I was like, all right, I'll just do, a few games in the preseason, and then just that preseason just took off from there, and I just kept doing them.
Man, the wife.
I started looking, and I was like, cause she was like, I don't see anybody else really doing it, cause she saw like a couple of people.
Yeah. But
it was like YouTube, highlights of the game where the game is already over, so it's not natural.
Right.
And I was like, I was like, it's gonna take a lot of time editing, but I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and I just been doing this ever since.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Cause like I said, no, I don't see anybody doing that, and shout out to your wife too, cause the wives they play a pivotal role in this whole thing. And I know you talked about earlier, like your wife, like doing the games and stuff. She let you be in your man cave. She take care of the kids, so you could just watch the game and just chill. But yeah, I know in my situation too, cause I used to do Madden videos, but I remember one day I had just wanted to talk about the game, so I ended up doing it. I liked it or whatever. I ain't do it every week. I just was like, let me just see how it goes, whatever. So it was cool, but I was still like focused on Madden. But when my wife was pregnant with our son, she had actually she ain't feel good, because we used to go to the sports bars, because we down here in Miami, so they obviously only play Dolphins games. So she wasn't feeling good one day, and instead of going to the sports bar, she was like, I ain't feeling good, let's just watch it from home. So that's when I found out what them streams were. But yeah, that she was the one that got that started, all from her just not feeling well. That's what led me to doing this, to start talking about the Ravens and talking about what I liked from the game and stuff, what I liked, what I didn't like, all that blah blah blah. So she played a huge role in this whole thing, and I like how you talked about you didn't come out and actually say it, but you said it indirectly. It's just the support that your wife has for when you're doing your thing, and for her to even suggest for you to do the reactions, because again, like I said, nobody's doing that like that. Nobody's doing that for the games every week. You the only person doing that, so you're a trendsetter. You're a trendsetter, because like I don't see anybody doing that. But I do see, like you said, when they'll like watch the highlights or something. I see that a little bit, but actually like recording yourself, I don't see anybody do that. So that's cool, man. But what's how long you and your wife been married for?
6 years.
6 years. Congrats on that. Where'd y'all meet at?
Off of a website.
Mm-hmm.
Then we just talked on the phone, text, stuff like that. And I remember she worked, I don't know if y'all have one out there, Pluckers.
No.
Like a wing spot.
No. It sounds like it's good, though.
Well, some of them good. That one, that's a whole nother story. Oh. But, yeah, she was texting me and she was like, my mom's gonna be real late picking me up, like for our, to bring me home so you can come and get me for our date. And I was like, I can get you from work. And she was like, I don't want you to see me in my work clothes. I was like, man, God, I get you. And she was like, no, don't do that. I was like, I'm already on the road. So she was like, all right, I'm gonna tell my mom whether you come to get me, whatever. So got in the car and everything. She's gonna beat me up when she heard this podcast. But she just kept like staring at me like I was smiling. She just kept staring. And I was like, what are you staring at? She's like, you got the straightest teeth. I was like, really? I was like, this is the first thing you're going to say when you get in my car. Then I was like, well, I know what that means. You probably met some people in your past that had some not so good teeth.
Stupid, man.
And I still mess with her to this day. Like, we was out at before the pandemic happened. We was at like a store looking at some phones.
Yeah.
And then this woman at the thing, she was like, man, you got some nice teeth. And then my wife just busted, I know, girl. And they just started talking like they've been knowing each other for the longest about teeth. I was like, what in the world is going on? But yeah, ever since then, man, been going on 6 years and 2 kids. And my youngest is 10 months.
Oh, y'all just had another one. Okay.
Yeah, my little princess.
That's cool, man. So you got 2 girls, or a boy and a girl?
Boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
And I remember hearing on your podcast, I think you said you and your wife y'all dated for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then you popped the question.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Man, we dated 7 months, and I popped the question.
So go ahead.
When you popped the question, I know you was nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get on one knee?
Yep.
See, I was so nervous, I forgot to get on one.
What, you got on 2 knees? Or you were laying down on the ground or something?
I was sitting down, and like I had the waiter, like the chef in the back at the restaurant we was at. I had them bring out like a cheesecake, because that's her favorite.
Yeah.
And I had them write on it, will you marry me?
Mm-hmm.
And when they brought the plate, like a whole crowd came with it. And that made me even more nervous.
Oh,
so
yeah. That'd be scary.
And then they was like, well. And I'm just looking at her, and my mind is just blank. Then she was like, oh, yes. And then like after all of that, I was like, oh my God, I didn't get on my knees.
Cause that's a scary part right there too. Cause like when you know, but then you be thinking like, okay, I'm gonna propose to this girl, and once you get the ring and everything, and you figure out how you gonna propose, you think about everything, how you gonna do it and whatever. But then you think in the back of your mind like, oh, what if she says no? That would be, oh man, that would have been crushing, man. She said no, but then you had a bunch of people there for yours, and all of the crowd that came, those were just people at the restaurant.
Yeah, just people that just worked there. And I was like, oh my.
That pressure, man. Ooh, cause it's already enough pressure as is if it's just y'all 2, but then having all them people watching too.
And then I didn't tell you this, when we was going into the restaurant, I had the ring in my pocket, and she was trying to reach for something in my pocket, like the car keys or something.
Ooh,
and I like freaked out. I was like, leave my pockets alone. She was like, what in the world? I was like, don't worry about it. And then after everything, she was like, oh, that's why. I was like, yeah, you would have messed all of that up.
Well, she probably thought you was crazy, man.
Ain't no telling.
Yeah. Well, that's cool though, man. But how did you know that like she was the real deal? Like she was gonna be, that was the one.
Because like everything I was like going through at that time, she just constantly like gave me support. Right. Like she do this till this day and just encourage me with anything. Like even if she might believe it might be a little crazy, she'll still encourage me. Like you can do it, you can complete it.
Oh, that's good, man.
And I was like, that's really rare. And then on top of that, we're both Christians, so we had like Bible studies in the car and in front of her yard, things like that. Then she really got the green light when my mom.
Oh yeah, that's.
Because my mom she don't play. That's where I get it from. My openness for as whatever I'm thinking, I just say it. It can come off a little rude. That's all my mom. And my mom was like, "Boy, I like her." I was like, "Okay, that's the light right there."
Yeah, that's a test right there.
Mama don't like everybody.
Yeah, that's a test right there for real, man. Your mom's, oof, man. Cause if it's somebody that your mom did not or does not like, and you think about marrying, that's gonna be a rough situation, man.
Oh yeah,
that would be a rough situation. So the fact that your mom liked her, yeah, that's big, man. That's big. I couldn't imagine. But it's funny that you was talking about how your wife, she ain't want you to see her in her work clothes. Cause I remember before me and my wife, before we had got married, there was a time where she had worked at Chipotle. So
that's my wife's spot right there.
Yeah, that Chipotle is good, man. I ain't even really know about Chipotle before then, but that Chipotle be hitting, man. And it's so good and so fulfilling too. It's hard to get fulfilling. Is Chipotle considered fast food? I guess it is, kind of. I don't even know.
Because they make everything fresh, so.
Oh yeah. So I guess not. Well, it is fast though, because you just go in line and I don't know.
Yeah,
but
just in between.
Yeah, that Chipotle good though. And with Chipotle, one thing that I wish they would do. Cause sometimes I don't be feeling like getting out of the car. I just wish they would have a drive-through, man. If they had a drive-through, that'd be it. That'd be a Chipotle all the time, man.
Yeah. That'd be like a line like at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, at Starbucks, at Chick-fil-A, them lines be wrapped around the corner, man. Every time, man. But with my wife, she worked at Chipotle, and same thing. She's like, "Oh, I don't want you to see me in my work clothes." She's like, "Oh, it might smell like Chipotle." I ain't worried about all that, man. But working fast food, that smell, it can't stick with you though. Cause I remember when I worked at Wendy's a long time ago, that smell it can stick. It can stick. It can hang around. It'll be on your shirt and stuff. And even if you wash the shirt, you still smell that spicy chicken on there and that nugget grease, man. For real, man. But
they can tell you when you coming.
Yeah. But it's all good though, man. How old is your oldest? Cause I know you say your youngest 10 months.
Yeah, he's 4.
4? Does he ever like? I know he's not in the videos or anything. Is that him that be screaming in the background sometimes?
That time you come in said when he was crying or something like that. Yeah, that was him. It was begging time. You already know how that goes.
Oh yeah. You know what? Like I remember. I guess around that same age too. When my son was 4, cause he's 5 now. But I don't know what changed. I don't even know what happened. Maybe it was just him getting older and maybe him getting a little more tired. I don't know what it was. But when he was 4, tell him it's time to go to bed. Oh man, this dude would be kicking, screaming, yelling, crying, everything not to go to bed. I don't know, but over time it just changed. I say, all right, Carter, it's time to go to bed now, and he'd be like, oh, okay. I'm like, what? Like, sometimes it's like weird, man. Like cause these kids, they go through these phases and stuff, and they go through these stages and whatnot, and sometimes it's like, sometimes when he like just listens to stuff, and just like don't get no back talk or nothing, don't like. Sometimes it's weird. Like I know that's kind of like bad to say, but it's weird because you almost get to a point where you almost become ready. Like, all right, if I tell him it's time to go to bed, I already know he got to come back, so I'm gonna have a comeback for his comeback. But
you're already prepared.
but yeah, he stopped that. Like even with all right, Carter, it's time to take a bath. Okay. Like but before he'd be like, oh no, why? Well, I don't want to right now. But now he just okay. Now I wish it would be like that with everything, but we still working on some stuff, man. But it's all good. It is definitely a process. Being a parent, it is tough too, but it is definitely it brings a lot of joy too, though, man. It is very super fulfilling. What would you say your favorite part of being a parent is?
Just really just you can see their joy, like they have their whole life in front of them. So they're just like adventurous and trying to figure out everything.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Cause like like for example, if you go into the store or something, you come back in the house, they come straight to you.
Yeah.
And that always hit me right there.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It's not gonna last long when they get up there in that age.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Yeah, that is big though, man. Especially when they first do it, like when they like younger, like maybe like 1 or 2 or whatever, when they first start having that feeling of actually missing you. Cause I mean with the moms, I think they definitely got an advantage over the dads when it comes to the kids missing them, cause they were with the mom for them 9.5 months or whatever, and then depending on the mom, some moms might breastfeed and whatnot, so then the kids be even more attached to them. Cause I know with my son, we ain't really get close till either 3 or 6 months after he was born. When he was either 3 or 6 months old. Cause at first, cause I was working and stuff. I was there for him, taking care of him and everything, helping my wife out. But things were just off in the beginning. Like we ain't have that connection yet. And I remember the first time when the first time after she got home from having him, it was like, might have been like a couple months or something. But the first time she stepped out to go to the grocery store and left me alone with him, oh my goodness, I was just so annoyed because she left and he screaming, crying, yelling, all of that stuff. I'm like, oh man. But it just took time, man. But now we best of friends, man. So, whew. But it was a process, man. But yeah,
that's how my daughter is. She just like sit there and just look at me. Don't say anything. Just look at me. As soon as my wife come in, I'm like, oh my, she can just hear her voice. I was like, I know I bore you. You ain't gotta show up.
That's crazy, man. Cause yeah, they always gonna have that connection. Cause we ain't the ones having the babies, but so they always gonna have that special connection to the mom. But it's just it's always gonna be a special connection to the dad too. But it's just a different type of connection. But it's cool. Y'all plan on having any more?
Maybe in a couple of years.
Oh, okay. So
sleepless nights is hard. We still wake up every 2 to 3 hours.
Oh yeah, just about to ask that. If she slept through the night yet? Oof, every 2 to 3 hours. Oh man. What type of schedule you work?
With my job
Yeah.
or just her? On my job, I 8 to 4:30.
Oh. So if you waking up every 2 or 3 hours, then you might not even need an alarm clock on some days. You might already be up.
Nah, cause like my wife, she's like, how do you just get up in the middle of the night, feed her or something, then you can go back and you'll be good for work. I was like, I learned that when I was in school, where my mom used to say, if you fall asleep in class, it's not gonna be. So I taught my body at a young age. So when it's time to do something, I'm good. But when it's done, I will crash. It's like not long because like you started your stream. I woke up probably 30 minutes into your stream.
The one from tonight?
Yep. Cause she was in her crib, had her toys, and like her crib is wood. Mm-hmm. And she just bang, 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 and just screaming loud.
Not even crying, just screaming?
Yep. Like, when they find their voice?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. I forgot about that whole phase, man.
Are y'all planning to have another?
No. I say, no, that's it. One and done. Carter is it. He is enough. Love him. Like we'll, sometimes if like one of our friends was over the other day, and they got a 2-year-old. Love him, super cool. But we just don't want to start over.
Oh yeah.
Cause we thought about it before, but just that the process of starting over is just, oh man. And I be thinking like, man, how would that be? How would that be to have another? Like if it happened, okay, cool, we deal with it and it'd be fine. We'd be happy still, but just starting over is the part. Like if we could like fast forward through like the first maybe like 9-10 months. Okay. So if you can do that,
sleep through the whole night.
Yeah, and once they get like a schedule, and I think one of the biggest stages of parenthood, I think, or one of my happiest stages, what I love the most because it made life so much easier when you're out and about, was when when he was potty trained. Oh my goodness, man, that just made such a big difference. Because like if we go somewhere, if we out of town or whatever, even if we not out of town, having to pull out that diaper bag, you got to take the diaper bag everywhere you go. You got to. But having to have that diaper bag and then somebody made a poo poo, so then you gotta go, you gotta go change it. You gotta go find somewhere to change it. But when he started wearing diapers, it's like, oh my god, it was the best, man. Oh, it was the best. I love that, man. So, but yeah, like I said, go ahead.
I was like, man, I remember that. With my little man. And when you in the public, and you just that smell hit you.
Oh yeah. Cause it'll tap you on the shoulder and let you know, like, hey, it's time, man. It's time. And oh man, it's just different, man. And even that was a proud. I had a couple of proud dad moments. Like I know my wife, she ain't like it at all. But when I had some proud moments when Carter had to go, we in traffic. So, oh well, time to be resourceful. You gotta go in the bottle, son. So it was like with her, she like, oh man, no, go find somewhere. And even if we've been on a road or something, and like maybe like the stores are closed or something, and he gotta go. All right, well we pull off to the side, go in the bush. She was like, oh no, I don't like that. Like, come on, that's my son. He's a man.
Yeah, cracked it like back in the day we used to open that door and crack it a little bit. That car door. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So he got to take care of his business. But yeah, man, it's a cool process. But real quick, we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna come back and get into the football stuff.
Shout out to Ingravenvids.
Alright, and we're back for the football part now. Alright, just jump straight into it right now. Ravens. What's one thing that you really dislike about the Ravens? How they do things, how they operate, whether it's something with the gameplay, whether it's something with the roster, whether it's something with decisions. What's one thing, if you could change on the Ravens, what would it be?
That obviously would be Greg Roman.
Oh,
that would be so obvious. But actually, I would say Harbaugh.
Oh.
I wouldn't say fire him. No. He has, in my opinion, the people that he brings in, it's like he worked with them previously, or he has some type of family connection or something like that. And to me, like, I can go all the way to Cam Cameron. For years, I was telling people, once we get rid of Cam Cameron, we will win our Super Bowl. It's just, you can just feel it sometimes. You can tell when a coordinator is holding a person back. And I'm like, Flacco has that arm. Yes, he don't have the wide receivers, but what he was doing with Derek Mason.
Oh, Derek Mason.
That was on another level. I remember Derek Mason caught that touchdown pass against the Cowboys, and I think he only had like one arm.
Yeah, he had like a dislocated shoulder or something, and it was hanging too.
Oh my goodness, that was just a work of art. But it's just Harbs. I believe Harbs needs to be, if you like Belichick, you know Belichick not only get on his players, and Harbs is a player's coach, which I like that. But if your offense coordinator, because Wink does his thing, sometimes he need to dial back the blitz. But I noticed in the last game, Wink did that one blitz. I've seen Marlon Humphrey blitzing, and then he did a big play. And then that was like the last all-out blitz I remember seeing for as a cornerback. I was like, quick adjustment. Greg, Giro, I think Hards need to be like, hey, dude, you need to fix it or you need to get replaced. Because I don't know if you seen my video I did of him about Giro, but that's his tendency. He's only good for 1 year everywhere he went. Even when he had the Bills, where they had Sammy Watkins and McCoy, I forgot they tight end. They had a really good team, and he was not using the weapons. And I used to kind of think about Hollywood. I'm like, man, Hollywood and he had that good year last year. This year, I'm like, he kind of falling off. But then I'm like, well, we know Lamar missed him a couple of times. That's a given. Every quarterback gonna miss somebody. But then I'm like, how is he using Hollywood? How, if you really think about it, how is this dude really using a speedster? Because it's no reason where Eric DeCosta, the Godfather, picked JK, and you see Ingram is starting extremely slow, but you're continually forcing Ingram out there.
Oh boy.
You know, when JK was cooking the Steelers. And then he took him out. Oh God, I still see it in my head. He took him out for that one play And I believe Lamar got sacked or something like that right after that. If I was Harbs, I would have been like, wait till halftime. Wait till halftime.
Yeah, that's frustrating, man.
So that's the only thing I'll say that Harbs needs to work on is just that. And if EDC literally giving you the keys to let you pick who's on the field and everything like that, there's no reason. Dez Bryant, I know you haven't played in a couple of years, but for that first game he was out there 2 snaps or something like that. And then the last game was really embarrassing for the Raven wide receivers that he was actually playing better than all of them.
Yeah, he looked like the best one on that game. He looked like the best receiver that day on the squad.
And I would have told Greg Roman, like, hey, Boykin is not a starter. I know you like that he can block, but we need somebody at least on, even if Dez don't even do anything, just his history can bring up, like, hey, just have 2 people on him. Just maybe. You never know.
Because, I think with Dez Bryant, like, his name, it holds weight and it has that respect. His name has a lot more respect than, obviously more respect than any of the Ravens receivers. And that's not a shot at them. It's just more so praise for Dez because that's what he's done in the league. And he ain't look like his old self or anything, but he definitely got something left, man. He definitely got something left. Like on that play where he came back to Lamar. Lamar was scrambling, waiting for somebody to get open, and Dez came back to the ball, and it was initially I think like a 2-yard gain, but Dez, he cut up, made somebody miss, and cut up field, and just he got that yak, and that's where the Ravens been struggling at, man, with the yak. Their receivers, they don't get much yak, and they don't break tackles either. Like, I mean, with Hollywood, he avoids a lot of contact. I'm really not sure why. He avoids a lot of contact. And with Willie Snead, like, he'll make some catches or whatever. He ain't like burning nobody or anything like that. And with who else? Well, Dez can't really say much because he only played. Technically 2 games, but he really only played 1 game because that first game he was only out there for them 2 snaps. But our receiver, and then Miles Boykin, he don't ever get passes thrown his way. So our receivers is just, they're there, but they nobody's fearing them. Like, did you see that thing? I first saw it on Twitter where the Ravens they have not had a pass interference called against their receivers all season.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, that can't be real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know.
And at first I was thinking, I was like, man, I was trying to think if I remembered, and I know it's been a lot of games at this point. It's been, 10 games, I think. I was trying to think if I could remember, like, where there were any times where I just really saw the Ravens receiver get interfered with. And I couldn't really remember off the top of my head, but then I was thinking at the same time, like, wait a minute. People, they're not really scared of Ravens receivers. And, they don't treat Ravens receivers like threats. So, I guess they might not even feel the need to interfere with them.
And that's the thing, too, that if you really think about it, you can go with Hollywood, Boykin. I know, Snead been getting more attention since Dez has been there.
Right.
That's kind of funny to me. But it's if you think about it, you really pass interference is coming into those wide receivers that scares other teams as well. They will fight for that ball. Or they will get burnt, And I'm like, Hollywood could probably get some pass interference calls, but he's not burning anyone. I noticed a lot of people are pressing him, and the Titans, I noticed he was getting pressed. And when Dez Bryant was out there, Dez Bryant had at least a 5 to 8 yard gap.
Yeah, so weird, man. That's the respect.
So, I'm like, even though they know Dez Bryant is not gonna burn the speed, but it's like, man, this dude can break some tackles.
Yeah. That's that respect.
Because like that quick hitch Lamar threw to him, and he just got like 5 yards out of nowhere. I was like, he's that's why what's that, Butler? Or I think that was Butler, Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler, yeah.
Swung him real hard because he got embarrassed that last play. Then stiffed on him.
Yeah, he's getting mad, man. Hey, did you see that? And I didn't even see till they showed it on replay. Who scored that touchdown? Was it? No, it wasn't really Snead. I forgot who scored it. Maybe it was Mark Andrews. I think it might have been Mark Andrews.
Yeah, he threw a dime to Mark Andrews on one of them. That thing was
yeah, down the sideline. Was that it? Whatever it was, somebody on the Ravens offense had scored a touchdown. And the Ravens, it was Lamar and like 2 other Ravens celebrating in the end zone. And Lamar had I guess he ran past the dudes that was celebrating, but then Malcolm Butler was there, and Lamar ran back and bumped his shoulder in the Malcolm Butler. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, that's the Lamar I want to see, man. This is a petty Lamar, this upset Lamar, this is an angry Lamar, man. But I was like, okay, now maybe Dez rubbing off a little bit. I don't know, man, because we just the team, they just so nice. They're so nice and oh, hey, how things going with you, man? Oh, I hope everything is good. Oh yeah, things are great with me and my family. How are you? And not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're really about to go off on somebody, as a receiver, as an offensive lineman, even certain quarterback, the type of quarterback like that Lamar is, he could. You just gotta have that dog, man. And we've been lacking that for. Ever since, before Dez got there. So
Bowden was the last one. I remember Bowden.
Oh yeah, Bowden was.
You said it in one of your podcasts. We were playing the Oakland Raiders. He pointed to the scoreboard while old boy was trying to talk smack. Then I remember, I think he was playing the Patriots. He did a real good catch. And he pointed at the dude on his.
Well, yeah, when he's on the ground.
Right there. We did not have that. Now we have it with Dez, because Dez was talking smack.
Yeah.
Talking to Orlando Brown while talking smack.
Man,
I was like, we need more of that.
I'm really trying to think. Was Anquan Bolden really the last dog that we had?
Derek Mason, then Anquan, then
Steve Smith Sr. too. Him too.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, wow.
And the thing about it, all of them had to be picked up from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping Eric DeCosta this offseason can change that.
And that I agree, because I know I asked you what's the biggest thing, or what's one thing that you would change about this team, and you said Greg Roman. For me, it would be just more of the, not even the culture, just more of the lack of investment on offense to adding weapons. Because we heard about the whole DeAndre Hopkins thing and how it fell through, but it's like, okay, so that fell through, so what else? Because there's never an excuse, there's never a lack when it comes to adding the weapons on defense. They always find a way. They always do. They find a way to add all these different weapons on defense. They find a way to pay all these different guys on defense. But when it comes to offense, it's like, we tried for DeAndre Hopkins. We talked about Adam Thielen with the Vikings, but nothing. We were gonna try to trade for Zach Ertz, but then he got put on injury reserve. So it's I don't know, that part has been pretty frustrating, especially when you look around the league and you see these especially second year quarterbacks, and they taking care of these dudes. They're really taking care of them. Because, look at Kyler Murray. They went in, they closed the deal on DeAndre Hopkins. Josh Allen. They went and got him Stephon Diggs, and still had John Brown and what's the little receiver who used to play for the Cowboys, little slot guy. I can't think of his name on the Bills. Man, what is his name?
I know who you talking about. He got the blonde hair.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? John Brown, Stephon Diggs. I'm trying to think about it without looking it up. Oh.
I got you. Cole Beasley. What they used to call him.
Yeah. I completely forgot. But yeah, him. Who else? Tua. He got some decent receivers. He got Devontae Parker. He's nice, and Preston Williams is nice too. I like him. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. He's definitely set. But it's like he was set already, but they still got him even more. Because they went and drafted T. Higgins. They kept AJ Green. Of course, they had signed Tyler Boyd to that deal, and they already had Auden Tate. So yeah, he was already set, but they still added more. And then of course Baker Mayfield. They got him Odell Beckham Jr. He already had Jarvis Landry. You got Hollywood Higgins over there, and they went and signed Austin Hooper for him. They drafted the tight end from FAU. They put in some work for him too. But with the Ravens, and I think the thing with them is they take these projects where they take guys that are not NFL ready most of the time. With Hollywood, I think he like last year to me it showed that he was. But him and Lamar, they had a much better connection. Things are on, and I think with him and Lamar, I think something's up. I've even heard people, like we even had it on questions from subscribers. People ask, do you think Hollywood could ask for a trade at the end of the season? And I remember, after the season, in the off season, initially when I read it, I was like, this is blasphemous. What are they talking about? Hollywood asking for a trade? But then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a wide receiver in this Ravens offense, and so that's a big yikes right there already. But even with the season that he's had, I think it could actually be possible, man. I don't even think it even sounds too crazy if he did. Now I would hope that he wouldn't, but I could actually see it actually happening. But I would just hope that, like I said, I hope it doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And it seems like him and Lamar just... Because somebody pointed out to me a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking, they probably straight. Well, they pointed out to me a couple weeks ago how they show before all the games and stuff, they show him and Hollywood always walking into the game together. Every game. It's Lamar and Hollywood when they show up. But then one week, it was after the tweet, after that famous tweet. They wasn't showing up together no more. I'm like, okay, it's just probably a little coincidence or something like that. Yeah, next week it'll be straight. Then the next week, they ain't show up together again. Like, okay, maybe another coincidence. And then they ain't showed up together ever since. So I don't know, man. And they're not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, but still, man, I'm like, well, it's the little small stuff. It starts with the little small stuff. And one of them reporters asked about it at a presser the other day. And shout out to them comments be going crazy on them YouTube on them Ravens pressers, man. Boy, they be going crazy, man. People on there are wild. Just wild.
I be laughing the whole time.
Yeah, man. Cause I almost be looking more forward to the comments than the actual pressers. Cause boy, they be bringing it, man. But I remember a reporter had asked Lamar at one of those pressers, like, "Hey, what's is everything okay with you and Hollywood?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, everything fine. I just gotta find a way to get him involved." Okay, man. Can't be breaking up that South Florida connection, but we gonna see what happens, man. Hopefully, everything ends up boiling over and they can get Hollywood involved. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I wish that the Ravens would invest more into the offense, because they just don't, man. It's been like that. It's been that way for their entirety Well, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much the entire existence as a franchise, to where they don't consistently invest in the offense, and then of course they'll add these older receivers on the back ends of their careers, and they don't get that guy on offense. So I don't know. Hopefully that can change soon. How you think this Ravens and Steelers game is gonna go whenever it ends up actually happening?
I really think I think RG3 is gonna do his thing, but then I think for some reason I just keep thinking RG3 and Dez Bryant is gonna have a field day. Because RG3 does throw the ball better than Lamar right now, but he's a veteran. He done worked his craft. He was out of football for a year or two, something like that.
Yeah.
But I have the Ravens. I have the Ravens winning.
Oh.
But I already know some people gonna be, this was rigged, or they did this for the Ravens because pandemic and everything. This actually helped out the Ravens and all of that. There's gonna be some excuse why they got beat by RG3.
Oh, that done already started.
Twice.
Oh. Yeah, that done already started. I done already seen people saying that. Whew, that would certainly be something if the Ravens could win this one. You got any score predictions, or you just want to leave it at the Ravens winning?
See, the Steelers they just, it's gonna be either a touchdown or a field goal. But yeah, I don't have no score. I just have the Ravens winning on a close.
Yeah.
Because I think the Steelers, their whole ordeal, I think they just want their number 1 seed. But was it 2012? Was it 2012? I think they was, not 2012, 2017, where they was the number 1 seed and they got bounced, just like the Ravens did last year.
I don't even remember.
Forgot what season that was. But I believe that's what's going to happen to them. They're gonna lose against the Ravens. Then the rest of their season is very easy. And then someday the Ravens in the playoffs will play either them or Kansas City right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll see. I initially when everything was regular with this game, when it was still scheduled to be on the Thanksgiving night, I said the Ravens were gonna win by 10. But that was before Lamar ended up getting out, and then we lost like half of the roster too. Right now I don't even know how I think it's gonna go. I don't even know, because it's like RG3. Yeah, I agree with you. He is a more polished passer than Lamar Jackson. And I mean, with these same weapons, the one advantage not advantage, but I guess an advantage for the weapons, for the receivers and stuff. One advantage that they have with working with RG3 as opposed to Lamar, Lamar, even though the past couple of weeks he has been doing a much better job of it. So that's a really good thing. He's been doing a much better job of spreading the ball around, especially as opposed to how the beginning of the season was. But recently, he's been doing a much better job of spreading that ball around. So that's been really good. I
don't mean to cut you off, but it's funny you said that, because after what you just said, like him and Hollywood is not walking in with each other, and now he's spreading the ball.
I didn't even think about that.
That is crazy.
Wow, whoa. I ain't think about that at all, man.
Because his second Florida dude is Willie Snead.
Yeah. Wow, I did not think about that at all, man. So maybe if they do got something going on, then that's actually helping Lamar a little bit, and making him really look at other people. Wow. That's crazy. Wow.
So it could have been, like you said, it could have been actually helping him. But you look at everybody else, in the league and young quarterbacks, they really don't have that favorite. You know, even Mahomes, he's on another level.
Oh yeah, Mahomes.
But
yeah,
you know, he just don't sit there heal. He'll dump it off to somebody else.
But yeah, it's not even fair how many
Even like Kyler Murray, you would think Kyler Murray got D-Hop, but he's just throwing it to D-Hop all the time. No.
That's true. I mean, I remember early on, like there was one game where he had like 13 catches or something like that. But yeah, besides that, Kyler Murray did be spreading that ball around too, because Christian Kirk, he be getting his. Of course, Larry Fitz and D-Hop, but yeah, they got some nice little weapons over there. Even Andy Isabella, they still got Max Williams, that former Raven tight end. I thought that dude was gonna be something serious with the Ravens.
And we stole him from the Pittsburgh Steelers at the draft.
Yeah. I thought that dude was going to be something serious, man. I'm like, this dude got some good speed, he got good size, but just never worked out, man. Never worked out. I was excited for Max Williams, but it's all good. I said, man, I was like, you supposed to definitely be good. You got 2 X's in your name, in Max. So I'm like, come on, man. You gotta be good, but
had the perfect name.
Yeah.
Just like with Heat, where everybody's screaming Heat and all that.
But nothing. All good though. It's always tough when you got these Ravens guys, and especially on offense. Defense not so much, but especially on offense, because you know with offense it takes almost a miracle for us to really get a guy going like that consistently. But it sucks when you see these guys on Ravens offense and they can't get it going with the Ravens, but then they go somewhere else and boom, hit that stride, man. Like guy like Darren Waller is obviously like the biggest one that everybody talk about. With Max Williams, it ain't like he been like killing it in Arizona or anything like that, but he's certainly been doing better than he did with the Ravens.
Hurst.
Who?
Hurst.
Oh, Hayden Hurst. Yeah. Well, Hayden Hurst.
He ain't doing much out there, but he's doing way more than he did.
Yeah, and I think with him, I think he would have done. He definitely would have done fine here because he had the best hands on the team, and he was a tight end, so he would have ate with Lamar. But that injury just messed up everything for him. Helped out Mark Andrews a lot, but that injury just set him back because he's looking good, man. He's looking good. He's looking good in the preseason. I remember his first catch in the preseason. I'm like, wow, he like grabbed the ball off the ground and caught it, and he got hit at the same time, and that ball ain't moved from out of his hands. I'm like, wow, so this is what they were talking about.
He reminds me of Jason Witten with his hand.
Oh, okay. I'm like, hold on.
He wasn't, because if you think Jason Witten is not fast, but he can catch it.
Oh, yeah.
Hurst is not fast like that, but he can catch. His catch radius is really good.
Yeah, he did. Well, he definitely ain't Jason Witten slow though.
No.
Yeah, but he's nice, man. And this offseason, I really thought Gus was gonna be another one of those guys too, cause I for sure thought he was getting traded. I'm like, ain't no way they keeping Gus Edwards. He gonna be out of there, but they kept him around, and I'm glad they did. I'm like, what, four running backs? That you can't feed everybody, but look where we at right now, man.
And we're talking about the Steelers game, that right there, because it's gonna be, because if I remember right, this is it for Gus this year. He's a free agent.
No, he got they can slap he can be a restricted free agent next year, and then the following year he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
Okay.
So they can keep him for very cheap. Huh?
Gotta hurry up and sign him.
Yeah, I think Mark Ingram is out.
I just go with it all the way.
Yeah, I think Ingram is out after this year. I don't see him coming back at all, or I don't see them keeping him at all. And not because he's like obviously not a bad person, but just the business side. think Eric DeCosta gonna make that decision, just like with a Eric Weddle, just like with a Tony Jefferson, just like with a Brandon Carr. I say we love you, thank you, we appreciate you, thanks for being such a great team player. But we got to move on, and I think Mark Ingram number gonna get called this year. But
I think he already knows that too.
Yeah. He got it. Oh yeah, and especially with how the last game was going, when like this dude, when I saw he got 2 carries. What?
For 2 yards.
I said, wow, they like. I was shocked. I'm like, wow, this like Mark Ingram was, but just last year he's the number 1 guy, and 2 carries, and we've of course seen throughout this season how they force fed, like they really force fed everybody, and they were just spreading the carries around so much, and I just, that was always so frustrating, whether the Ravens were winning or losing. I never liked that because I just feel like it didn't allow anybody to get into a rhythm. But when they saw he only got 2, and they were both like, I think both in the first quarter, I was like, whoa, what? Mark Ingram was just, they ain't have him out there for this game like that, especially in the second half. They didn't have him at all in the second half, and I was just surprised, man. But yeah, like you said, he probably does know, but we'll see. I was reading one thing, but it wasn't even from one of the Ravens beat writers or reporters or whatever. I think it was from like Pro Football Talk or something. And sometimes they gotta like put like little sketchy headlines or whatever. They were like, oh well, the Ravens Mark Ingram, he could soon be working his way. He soon could be inactive on game days. And I was thinking, whoa, like I don't know if they gonna do all that, but yeah, he is already inactive because of that whole little COVID thing for this game. But I don't know about all that part. I don't know if they would take it that far, but you never know. I mean, we winding down to the end of the season, so we'll see. But yeah, but they can keep Gus for cheap next year. But then at the same time, and this is what I thought was going to happen last year. I mean, this is what I thought was going to happen this year. Since Gus is super cheap, I thought Gus was going to ask to be traded. But because I just thought that he would just want to go somewhere else, and just the Hayden Hurst thing, same situation where you know what you can do, you know what you're capable of, and you want to show it, and you've shown it before, but it's a bunch of people in front of you getting more carries than you or whatever. But next year, I think it could be a possibility too if they don't pay him, because he'll be a restricted free agent, so he'll only be making maybe $700,000. No, if he's a restricted free agent, depending on what tender they give him, it'll be like a meal or something at the most. There won't be much on the salary cap for them. But I definitely think that's when they would have to open that checkbook if Gus was gonna stay. So we'll see. So anyway, got any last words for the people? Let them know where to find you at. Let them know what you're doing, what you're working on, anything you got planned, anything like that.
Just with your reactions, try to put out more videos. Is my I say my vents, as I call them. And just, I'm ready for the hate for when RG3 win against the Steelers.
That's good. Hey, hopefully that ends up happening, man. Because I'll be with that all day. So we look forward to this Tuesday night football.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah. But I definitely take that over that forfeit, because nobody trying to see Ravens forfeit this game.
I seen a report about the forfeit. They said forfeit never happened in NFL history. Mm-hmm. If it was to happen, as you stated in your stream, both teams are going to lose money, and they won't get paid for that.
Yeah, nobody gets paid. So
they said for the Ravens, it was like 7-something million. And for Pittsburgh, it was like 5-something million.
Yeah. So that, because it's one game check for everybody. So yeah, that would be bad. It'd be really bad. But now they ain't got to deal with. Well, hopefully they ain't got to deal with it, because hopefully now this will have been the last postponement of this game, and that'll be it. So, but we'll see. So anyway, appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you subscribe to Raven C YouTube channel. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that in the description. And y'all have a good day, good night, good afternoon whenever you listen to this. Appreciate it, and we out.
Shout out to Ingravenvids.